Hi guys, it's Jazz here for a reading, a general collective reading. It may or may not resonate for you, and if it doesn't, take what does and leave the rest. So, hope the year has been good, has served you well so far. I don't know about anyone else, but last year was a pretty full-on year. Ended with a bit of a bang, possibly for some of you others as well. Yeah, so let's see what comes out today. Just in advance, you may hear my dog barking. I apologize for that. Okay, let's go. So I don't usually read I'll take some of the traditional meaning and then I'll read what energies are coming through from the rest. It is warm today. Excuse me, I am so warm. Whew. So let's see what's coming out. We have the Four of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles. It's telling me to read reversals in this one. I don't normally read reversals, so I'm going to do that this time because they did flick out. So we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse, the Hermit, the Moon in reverse, the Five of Swords in reverse, Six of Pentacles, the World. And I'll just grab a couple of these. I'm using the Light Seers deck, and these are oracle cards. Animal Spirit Oracle, I think. Yeah. Yep. Oh, we've got some recurring themes here. I'll just get one more. Okay. So, just shift that. So first of all, we have the Four of Swords. As you can see, there's a nest there, and it's a time of healing. So I'm just going to channel whatever's coming into my mind, which is generally what I do. Some of us had some loss at the end of last year. I myself, others, whoever out there this resonates with. Last year was a big year, like I said, and it's time for rest and rejuvenation, which is very applicable to myself and some others that I know. And it really is a time for introspection, I'm hearing, a reflection, and to giddy up, meaning to seize the moment. So do in the moment, when you can, what you can, and what you need to do. So whether that's to rest and sleep, or whether that's to chill and do nothing, or to indulge in your favorite movie or TV series or your music, it doesn't matter if you're not actually physically doing heaps, because I feel like this is a time for relaxation, resting, like I said, and respite. So taking time away from situations that don't serve you anymore, or that you've already left but might after effects might still be lingering. I'm hearing that, a lot of you are doing this work. It might feel like you're not getting anywhere. It might feel like you're taking 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. But know that you are getting somewhere, and healing looks different for everyone. And you need to listen to your body, your mind, your spirit, and do what you need to do. So we've got the Eight of Pentacles here. So this is like setting intention, I'm hearing. So it's a great time to set intentions. It's the beginning of the year, you know, we're almost in March, but still, you know, not that the time of the year matters, but it's a bit of a refresh for some people. It's a bit of a new start for some people, and I'm hearing don't give up. So like I said, it might look like you're stumbling a bit, fumbling a bit, grumbling a bit, but at the end of the day, you are mastering your mind, you're mastering your environment. It takes time to do that, especially physical environment, but so does your mind. You know, that's the spiritual environment, the emotional environment. And we have the Seven of Swords upside down. So I actually rewatched a couple of my readings before I decided to do this reading, and the Seven of Swords came out and it was said to drop the fight. And that's what I got from that. And this looks like that's what's happened. Because, you know, it's come out upside down and it's like pause after the fight. After you've dropped the gauntlet, after you've ended the process of whatever you went through with other people, with work, with career, same thing, with living arrangements, with relationships. I don't know if I said that already. People, yeah. So, and the Hermit has come out again. That came out recently. So you are taking that time to go within to seek answers, your own answers, to not allow other people's opinions, perspectives, or judgments to define you, and write your own story, basically. And just know that your story isn't set in stone. So however you feel now, it's not going to be it's not necessarily going to be how you're going to feel all the time, or forever. Just know that, you know, everything is temporary. I'm hearing, you know, nothing is permanent. Everything's constantly evolving and changing, and how you feel is going to do the same thing. And we have the moon here in reverse, and I think this is about like finding the voice for your own intuition, and meaning by that intuition I mean finding the voice for how you really feel and what is true to you. And all of a sudden I've got a headache coming on, so that's nice. Maybe some of you have been having headaches, stress, pressure. This is the moon upright. I should probably show you the moon upright. Wow, and we have the Five of Swords, and this is coming out for 4-2. This is insane. And because as you saw, I've shuffled and they flew out. It's not like the same cards from the previous readings have come out, and I've shuffled them multiple times since. But the Five of Swords has come out in reverse. And this is like that chatter that was really getting to you, that stress, again, that pressure to act, to decide make a decision, make a resolution, act on what you needed to do. And it's come out in reverse because I feel like, you know, that's happened. Like, people read differently, just as a side note, and you know, this is just how I'm reading. What the cards don't necessarily really matter that much. What actually really matters is what's coming out of my mouth, because that's what is coming through. Sorry, I got distracted there. So yeah, a lot of you have actually already, so you're either starting to see the results of the work that you've been doing, or you are starting to realize what you would maybe doing before and it looks different now, which is kind of the same thing. So there's a tangible you're either about to see this, or you are starting to see it, a tangible difference in your life structure and people who are in it, your connections, and the Six of Pentacles has come out in reverse, and for me this is symbolic of so it was upside down, give and take, but also sort of like being comfortable with receiving. This has come out in the previous readings as well. So it makes some people uncomfortable when people care about them and they feel like they need to thank that person, or they don't know how to respond, or they don't know how to thank them. But that's not actually really required. Like, if someone's giving you love from a very honest, authentic place, a conscious place, they're not actually going to want a thanks. Because unconditional love is just that. It's like you don't give someone a gift and expect, you know, something in return, or we don't have to always validate receiving with giving back. And that's really important note to make, I'm hearing, because people who don't feel like they're worthy of receiving love, or the thoughts of other people, their consideration, don't feel worthy of being important or being thought of. And it's like, well, you are. Everyone is. Everyone deserves to feel loved and considered. But when people have been through trauma, sometimes our own views of ourselves are skewed, and we don't know how to accept gestures of love and thoughtfulness. And it's just, the message really is to try to not feel ashamed for where you're at now, and really don't guilt yourself into feeling like you are letting someone down. You know, you don't have to be perfect, and you may not be perfect, and you might not think that you're perfect, and that might be part of the problem. But again, no one is, and that's really what we have to remember, is that everyone is an individual, and we all have our own demons, we all have our own daily battles. Now, this message that's coming for this card is that the cycle has ended, or is in the process of ending, and a new cycle is beginning. Oh my God. And then we have the Bat Spirit, and it says a rebirth is assured. So literally, it's like what I've been saying, it's magical, and it is real, and it's possible. And just hang in there, I'm hearing, like, hang in. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be all right. You might have some freaking obstacles and some tribulations and trials and all that kind of stuff coming up in the future, but deal with the present moment now. Do your best in the present moment. And we've got to see the big picture, but know that the big picture is going to take care of itself. So literally, you just need to do your absolute best with however you're feeling, whatever you've got going on, and the big picture will take care of itself, as long as you are working on laying a solid foundation for yourself. because I just heard and the people around you. So I think that comes into, you know, what comes into that is like respecting other people. You don't have to act in a certain way other than respectfully, with integrity, owning yourself, owning your actions, owning how you feel. And I also heard, you know, not expecting blood from a stone, because you might be in a situation where you have been previously and you're just coming out of it, but where you were literally just so desperate to get from this situation something that just you couldn't get. And it's about accepting that and then laying this new foundation for your new path. But just do it day by day, brick by brick. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Nothing is achieved overnight. Results aren't instant. Well, sometimes they are, depending on what you're talking about. But the magician is here, so it's like manifesting. When we talk about manifestation, it's not just like put the attention out into the universe and it's done. Like, you actually have to have your intention and follow through with your actions based on that intention. Get your mind in that process of thinking about that intention, trying to see things from perspectives that might be different to where you're at now, trying to figure out what actually is happening in your mind, is happening with your thought processes, so that then you can try to see around that, try to see what is true, what is not, or even, you know, sometimes it's not that it's about being true or not, but it's about perspective again. And how you can best navigate your current life, current situations, and feel okay about it. And I'm just really hearing like the guilt thing again, like just like there's so much guilt and shame, and it's okay to have fucked up. It's okay, you know. Everyone messes up. Like I've said in the past, like everyone does the best with what they're given, especially people with trauma again. And nearly all of us have it, you know, like there's generational trauma, there's childhood trauma, there's you know, societal, cultural trauma. And what actually, there's a benefit to that, because I'm just hearing what is born out of trauma is, we've got the Page of Swords here, is thought, and difference in thought, and becoming aware of the trauma and its effects, and not reacting all the time to emotions and fear, and, you know, wanting to lay down that not perception, lay down the need for control, which has been a personal thing for me recently. Because when you realize that you are actually trying to gain control of the situation, because you're afraid of being hurt, or you're afraid of the outcome not being something that you want, but the only moment that we have is the present moment. And when you realize that, it's like attachment to outcome falls away. So you could literally go, oh my God, what if this happens in 2 years' time? What if this happens in 5 years' time? What if it happens in a week? No one knows, right? So you've really got to be like, there's something to be said for planning, and, you know, but again, you know, some people just want to I'm hearing some people want to protect themselves in certain ways by controlling a situation, rather than going, what do I really want right now, instead of waiting for this certain thing to happen, or waiting until I'm set up to do something. Or I'm hearing like financial planning and things like that. Like, it's my belief that, you know, we make it work with what we've got. And yes, you know, there's investment and investment of time and energy into things like studying and things like that for your career and making money. But what really matters is how we think about things. At the end of the day, and you know, it's like, I just thought, even of science, so I just thought about science, and like, this girl's, you know, holding a book and it's knowledge, and then she's got all these light bulbs, which is like indicative of thought. And the Page of Swords is about new beginnings, bringing in fresh energy, also innocence. And so, for example, going back to that science comment, like, science, as most of us should know, is limited by itself. So research can be done into certain things. You have a select a population for the experiment or the research, and then based on that possibility and probability of certain outcomes, and even you know, like testing of certain theories is done. But it's not a overall, it doesn't involve everyone, right? It involves a certain culture, or it involves a certain type of person, or it involves a certain whatever it is. So it's not, science isn't the be all and end all. And what I'm saying is that science can prove a theory or disprove a theory or whatever it is, but there's a lot that we don't know. And what I'm trying to get at, I'm a bit convoluted at the moment, is that believing that anything is possible is imperative. Believing that the outcome that you really desire, even if you don't know what that is, the best outcome for yourself is possible. It comes from thought. Everything originates from thought. Your environment originates from thought. This fence in my backyard was built by someone who was like, I'm going to build a fence. So it all comes down from thought and need as well, you know, so need as well. So thought comes from a need, and it can also come from, you know, I was gonna say greed, but greed is also a way of trying to satisfy a need that is unconscious or suppressed. Yeah, so we've got the death and the rebirth. So we've got the death card and the rebirth card. Yeah, this is beautiful. This actually kind of goes on from one of the last readings I did, and it's really just confirmation that you're on the right track. You're doing everything you can. You know, oh, hang on, it's just saying low battery. What is it? Sorry about that. You haven't given up the fight, but the fight has changed or will change, and the fight changes when your mind perspective changes, and when you put your very best foot forward and your needs first. And your needs need to be conscious and come from a place of awareness rather than reaction to a situation. This is going to be a short reading, so I'm just going to get a couple of last cards out. Oh my God. Make your dreams real. So gradually weaving that web, as I said, you know, Rome's not built in a day. A web is not woven in a second. It takes a process. It takes a pattern, and we need to make sure that we are in healthy patterns that serve our needs and our greatest good and the greatest good of everyone involved. And truth transcends illusion. So it's like what I was saying about the science thing. We tend to say that science can be fact, which fact means truth, but you know, there's going to be people out there who say, this is true, and that's true. And, you know, it's like saying that dinosaurs existed because we found bones, but then it's like saying, sorry to be so simple and flippant almost about it, but, and then, you know, we've got people who say that the universe was created in 7 days, you know, things like that. And I'm not going to get into the religious discussion because that's, you know, for the individual to work out for themselves and everything like that. But the truth transcends illusion. It's about figuring out your own truth, and it's about, you know, again, acting with integrity and for the best possible outcome for yourself and those around you, and being smart about it, being smart about your actions. And then we have set healthy boundaries, basically. So, you know, being smart about, yeah, like I just said, your actions, all of that. Now I'm just going to see if anything comes in. This has been a weird feeling reading, actually, to be honest. And it's gone really quickly. Like, it's 26 minutes, but seriously, it's gone quickly. Okay, just a sec. I just heard don't fall into the hole again. So some of you have pulled yourself out of a big hole recently, and they just want you to know, just to make sure that, just catch yourself before you fall again, and make sure you've got some supports around you. Make sure you put those tools in place and those supports in place, and set those boundaries, and start building that foundation for those new pillars of strength in your life, because you're the only person who can get yourself out of the hole. Other people can help you, but you have to know, like, which direction you're going, whether you're going to stay out of the hole or whether you're going to let yourself fall back. And yeah, it's like, don't be a fool, because the Fool energy in tarot is all about, you know, again, new beginnings, adventure, innocence, but also naivety. And so there's a lot of wisdom to excuse me, draw from experience. You know, we've all had our own forms of experience, and yeah, but so don't be a fool means don't fool yourself into acting in a way that you know hasn't worked for you before. Don't go off into the distance without planning. And again, like I just said about planning earlier, but it's like, you know, be realistic, I guess, at the end of the day. Try to be as realistic as you can about where you're going, and don't be flippant with your direction in a way too, because every moment does lead to an outcome. And I say what came through before was about being in the present moment, but you do need to act like the culmination of moments is actually going to get you somewhere, and you need to see, well, if I do this, what might happen? So it's also about eliminating risk. It's about eliminating harm to yourself and others, and being smart about it as well. And the last card, oh no, where was it? There was another card that was coming out. It was dream your world into being, but I don't know where it's gone. Yeah, I don't know where that went. Yeah, anyway, that's it for today, guys. If you'd like a reading, I can use tarot cards, but I'm more than happy to do that. But I would generally do just purely channeled, no tools readings. Hit me up on Facebook, Psychic Medium Jazz Costello. Thank you, guys. See you later. Bye.